Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are reportedly close to reaching agreements with the White House that would substantially lower the monthly cost of certain obesity drugs and open pathways for their coverage under Medicare, according to people briefed on the talks. While details remain subject to final negotiation, the emerging framework would mark a major shift in U.S. drug policy and access for millions of patients. Under the reported terms, the lowest dose formulations of blockbuster weight loss medications would be made available to eligible patients at an annualized price roughly equivalent to about $149 per month. In exchange, the manufacturers would secure Medicare coverage for those formulations for the weight loss obesity indication, a coverage area historically limited under the federal program. Officials and company representatives have described negotiations as ongoing and have not confirmed final terms. The move reflects growing political pressure to rein in the high out-of-pocket costs and list prices for GLP-1 class and related drugs, which have become widely prescribed for weight management and type 2 diabetes. Prices for these medicines have at times exceeded $1,000 per month for the weight loss indication, putting them out of reach for many patients and prompting scrutiny from lawmakers and regulators. For patients, a successful deal could dramatically expand access. Medicare beneficiaries, including millions of seniors and people with disabilities, would gain a funded option for clinically prescribed weight loss treatment that many doctors now view as an effective tool for managing obesity and related conditions. For those who previously paid cash or faced steep cost sharing, a reduction to the neighborhood of $149 per month would represent a significant affordability improvement. Pharmaceutical companies would face lower per-patient revenue on covered doses, but they would gain access to the vast Medicare market. The trade-off is classic: lower unit price in exchange for much greater volume and predictable reimbursement. For the manufacturers, controlling the rollout and pricing under negotiated terms may also help preempt more aggressive statutory price controls and limit reputational and political fallout. Policymakers see potential benefits and risks. Expanding coverage could improve public health by reducing obesity-related complications such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, which are major drivers of long-term healthcare spending. But widespread uptake could also raise short-term expenditures for Medicare if millions of beneficiaries begin long-term therapy. The net fiscal effect will depend on how many patients start and remain on therapy, what health gains follow, and how implementation rules, prior authorization, duration limits, stepped therapy are structured. Key implementation questions remain unresolved. Observers are awaiting clarity on which specific drugs and doses will be included, whether the coverage will target particular patient groups, how the drugs will be administered through Medicare's benefit structure, Parts B or D, and what utilization controls will be imposed. Regulators and payers are likely to consider safeguards such as eligibility criteria, monitoring for adverse events, and limits on duration to prevent inappropriate use. Clinical and public health experts caution that while these medicines can produce substantial weight loss for many patients, long-term safety, efficacy, and the sustainability of weight loss after discontinuation require continued study, particularly in older populations common in Medicare. Policymakers will need to pair coverage with clear clinical guidance to ensure appropriate prescribing and follow-up. If finalized, the agreement could set a precedent for voluntary price and access deals between the federal government and drug makers. Such arrangements would offer an alternative path for lowering prices without relying solely on legislative change, potentially reshaping how blockbuster therapies are priced and reimbursed in the U.S. pharmaceutical market.